Okay, so we got to talk about comedian Godfrey giving his reaction to Stephen A. Smith going at Jasmine Crockett. And Godfrey didn't hold back, man. He went at Stephen A. Smith. And I would like to highlight Godfrey's reaction to everything, man. So let me break this thing down for you guys. Let me show you guys the clips of what Stephen A. Smith said to Jasmine Crockett. But before I do that, let me show you guys what Jasmine Crockett said in the first place that made Stephen A. Smith get all in his feelings to call her out initially, guys. So let's check out this first clip right here. Here's what Jasmine Crockett had to say about Donald Trump. Here's the video.
Stop falling for the okie doke. Stop believing the lies that they are putting out there and the terrible racist tropes that they are constantly using to rile people up. It is time to recognize that while you thought the enemy was the immigrant, or you thought the enemy was the trans person, or you thought that the enemy was the black folk, or you thought the enemy were the women, when the reality is that the only person that is harming you right now, if you are struggling to make sure that you can pay your bills, if you're struggling to feed your family, if you are struggling to find a job, if you are struggling to keep your business open, or if you're a farmer, while we currently have record level bankruptcies by farmers, it is not any of those people on the list. It is the old white Nepo baby that is sitting in the White House that is causing all the destruction, pain, and problems that you are enduring.
So that's what Jasmine Crockett said about Trump. Stephen A. Smith went to his podcast, Straight Shooter with Stephen A. That's where he talks more about political things and everything like that. That's his show on Sirius XM, right? So this is what Stephen A. Smith said, calling out Jasmine Crockett for calling out Donald Trump.
How Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done, as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying, that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him, since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent, the people of West Virginia. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas. I don't know. Maybe that just sounds ignorant because it's so simple. But it ain't that damn complicated. We make it complicated. Damn, it's frustrating. It really can be.
So that's the first clip. Stephen A. Smith also doubled down with a response video after he saw the backlash and everything like that when he had called Jasmine Crockett out. So Stephen A. Smith doubled down in his response, basically, guys, but also trying to soften it up a little bit. Let's check out his response right here.
But I felt compelled to come on the air a little bit earlier this week after what I've had to endure this weekend. What I had to endure this weekend were an abundance of people talking a whole lot of stuff about me because they did not like what I had to say about Representative Jasmine Crockett. She is a Democrat out of Texas, Texas's 30th congressional district. Her work, and her verbiage and all of that stuff speaks for itself. And she has become, a big time public figure in essence. Not just as a representative, but speaking out on a plethora of issues involving the current administration and the White House, et cetera, et cetera. And I made some noise last week because I had the temerity, the unmitigated gall, to say this about Representative Crockett when talking about the state of our politics in the midst of a government shutdown, by the way, that has unfolded since October 1st. Brilliant Black woman representing over 750,000 people is engaging in verbiage and rhetoric for the streets. And that's fine when you're in the streets. How many of y'all bring the streets to the table when you at the negotiating table trying to get a deal done? How many of you are able to think that for a second that you're able to bring street verbiage to Capitol Hill and that's going to work for you? You literally have senators and congressional figures on Capitol Hill on the side of the Republicans telling the networks, whether it's Fox News, News Nation, or anybody else, please, please, please put her front and center on camera. Why would they do that? Because they know it wins for them.
So yeah, man, people didn't like how Stephen A. Smith was saying, oh, you know, this is how you need to bow down to the white folks and stop talking that street rhetoric. And so, you know, that just kind of caught people off guard, man. So I would like to highlight what comedian Godfrey had to say about the situation, guys. And if you can, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you stuck around this long. It really does help support my YouTube channel, and I really do appreciate that. So let's check out what Godfrey had to say, calling out Stephen A. Smith for what he had said about Jasmine Crockett. Here's the video.
You got to know how to talk to white folk. Jasmine Crockett, how dare you? You got to be nice to white folk. They don't like all that aggressive Negro antics. See the way I talk to white folk? I talk to them real good. I don't want to get daddy mad now. The President of the United States, he run a good country for us. Look at us. We's free. We eat food. We get to dance. We get TikTok. We can do Instagram. That's a good man. Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Smith. You at it again, man. ESPN, he talks his shit, always has talked his shit. Boisterous, you know, loud. That's what he does. He criticizes whoever's in his goddamn path. That's what he does. There's sometimes I agree with him, but man, you be walking that line, boy, of coon and righteous. You be right in the middle. You be ruining. That's the new verb. When you're right on that edge. What you said about Jasmine Crockett, I don't agree with. Jasmine Crockett is qualified for what she does. She has earned her degrees. You don't have a degree in that. You're great at the sports. She don't try to correct you on how to talk about sports. And you're telling her how to talk to the president. How is she supposed to talk? She's doing exactly what she's supposed to do. She has more balls than most of these motherfuckers in the Democratic Party have. She speaks up for people's rights. She speaks up when she sees something wrong. She's calling it out the way Jasmine supposed to call that. That's the way she does it. I just don't like the way you're telling her how to talk. You know, her style is bad because she's right on point. She always has facts. She reads people. So what's the problem, Steve? Look at the way you talk about your sports. You gonna tell me that I'm not talking here. I know him. And he is horrible. It was abysmal. That's you, man. No one's telling you how to do that. That's how you make your money, by using your style. Jasmine has her style, and I think it's wonderful and refreshing to strong black women. Yo, man, you should be on her side. We should be protecting someone like Jasmine Crockett. Fuck that, right? I call her Jasmine the Rocket Crockett, man. The Rocket. You understand? You got to be protecting her. You kind of played her with that. Come on, Steve. Come on.
Okay, so that's comedian Godfrey calling out Stephen A. Smith, man. And I want to highlight that because I had did a video breaking this thing down. So I want to show you guys Godfrey's reaction, man. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you stuck around this long, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. I really do appreciate that, guys. Catch you guys on the next one, and we out, guys. Peace.